Welcome back, everybody, to WCS America Premier League for the final series of the day, and of course, the end of day one. Tomorrow we'll be back again. Next week we'll be back with multiple broadcasts. It's going to be another very busy week. We are getting ready. We're about to find out if we're going to have a second Zerg qualify for the round of 16, or if it's going to be perfect racial distribution after one day of StarCraft action, Nate.
Can you tell I'm excited for this?
I can see you smile. You'll be very happy.
The thought of not only a Terran getting out of the first group, but Neeb, just to start this season. This is the first Premier League broadcast that we've had for Season 3 of WCS America. I feel like it's all like we've come off with such a hot start to this season. It's been a pretty short day, I feel, so far as the overall game lengths and how long the matches have gone. But the results are really, really impressing me, and it's showing just how hard these American players are working. And it just shows that in one of them already getting out of a group with two Koreans.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that these guys are not even, your typical foreigners that have been around the scene since 2010, 2011, have gone to all these international tournaments, sitting on big contracts, or, having 30, 40,000 Twitter followers. No, these are just young, ambitious North American StarCraft 2 players that have been getting better and better consistently over time, and now suddenly they're here. One day you're just playing against them on ladder, and you're like, if I would have done a few things a little bit different, I think I could have taken him down. And 6 months later, I'm casting him against Jan, and I'm just like absolutely blown away by how well a guy like Guitarcheese is playing. It's super fun.
I love this banter.
It's super fun
Mech is against
to watch
rules.
them.
You can't use Mech. And he was just like, why? He's like, it's OP. It's like,
a little bit of mind games as well, because of course this would be slightly tilting. If I'm Neeb and I just went mech twice and I just lost, or I went mech
If I just went mech and lost, well, I don't know if you could say he lost because he went mech. It was a couple of other things.
But it's still like, you don't want to hear it, at least.
Neeb is good enough with both setups. Neeb played Neeb played primarily bio the last time that we saw him run far. I remember that incredible match versus Revivals. And of course, the game on Daedalus Point was really incredible.
Was it Daedalus Point?
Yeah, the one where he trapped a lot of the Mutalisks, and he.
Daedalus was the map with the massive ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I completely forgot the name of the map. Was it Daedalus Point?
Daedalus Point. I imagine Protoss just wanted to forget about it. It's like one of those because it was so traumatizing. Like your body actually just made you forget about it.
That is correct, Nate. But no, that was a fantastic game. And even though Revival in the end won the series, Neeb played his heart out, and it was super fun to watch. Anyways, proper introduction for the last time this day. Of course, representing the Fnatic economy in the left top side of the map. It is Neeb Academy, by the way.
Neeb.
Not economy. I'm sure Fnatic has a great economy. As big shout out to Fnatic, actually. They are approaching their 10-year anniversary in just a month or something. Super cool. I joined Fnatic in the summer of 2005, and I had nothing but good experiences with them. Super awesome team.
I heard they're related to that Harstem guy, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Harstem is a great dude. Harstem is, they love the Dutch Kevin so much that when I left, I just left such a big space to fill.
Like, we need another Dutch Kevin.
We need another Dutch Kevin. So Harstem, you're welcome. Without me, you would have probably been teamless.
Anyway, our Zerg player in the bottom right, sporting blue. Representing Solaris Gaming, it is Guitarcheese. And Guitarcheese actually has an account in North American Grandmasters, I believe, that plays random. I've played it. I've played as random. He's wrecked me as every race on ladder.
Same here, Nate.
He is really good.
Actually, same here. I'm not afraid to admit it, but I have to. I don't think I've lost against his Protoss, but I have lost against his Terran like twice. The first time I thought it was just because I was playing back, and the second time, well, I guess I was just playing even worse because I lost against Terran 2 games in a row. And when I see him spawning as Zerg, I always get a little bit sad already because I know that he's very good. And against me, Nate, he definitely doesn't overdrone because he knows the reputation of the Roddy all-in. So
them hashtag Roddy builds.
Yeah. He's a great player. Both of them are just fantastic. I had the pleasure of playing Neeb once or twice. Just awesome. The kid is so extremely good. Whenever you see them play, you obviously see already that they're really good. But if you go up against them, suddenly it feels like, they have so many more units than you expect them to have. It really feels like you're going up against Meru. Yeah. I don't even want to imagine how it actually feels like to go up against Meru.
It's just the kind of, you almost want to just quit when you see them on the loading screen.
Yep. When I see Guitarcheese Zerg, I will not say that I've never quit before, because I have.
So, double command center opening from Neeb. Very standard. And it did that thing a lot of Terran players have been doing. You get that fast reactor after one Reaper, and these Marines just deny scouting. It says, you shall not scout. And to be fair, he hasn't really been able to scout much of anything, which is nice because as a Zerg player, you want to know if you're coming against the Hellbats, but the second Overlord in the main base, this is actually a really big read to see that third command center because Neeb has shown that he likes Banshees and he also likes Hellbats to a lesser extent.
Double Overlord sacrifice this phase in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a big investment. He has to build 3 Overlords right now. He's actually queued up a 4th one. So to get the scout, yeah, it's tough. You know what that's actually another good point that you make. Because of that, he has no map vision at all with this Overlord being dead.
Nope.
Although, I mean, it doesn't look like Neeb's going to do anything that would require being scouted, but it's just a matter of principle at this point.
Yeah, perhaps watched a few too many games of Bolt. He's like, you know what? If just in case if Neeb wants to open up with 1 Viking as well, I'm not gonna end up losing 6 Overlords. I'll send 2. I'll sacrifice them both. This is actually going to be a little bit tricky for Guitarcheese though. Like, how is he gonna go up to 3 hatcheries? It's gonna take a little while. He has like nothing yet. He has Zergling speed.
Hey, those the 3 queens can play ball for a little bit. He just has to worry about run bys at this point if those queens stay too far forward.
He's doing something that Kane did for a while, just like sacrifice 2 bases very properly and then just don't sweat it at all that your 3rd hatchery is very late. Because all you do is just you build out so many drones at 2 bases. I can take a 3rd base now, but I can't even mine from it anyways because I can't protect it. So I'd much rather saturate 2 bases as well as possible. And then eventually I get out the right amount of units. These aliens are going to be too late to deny this drone from morphing into a hatchery.
Yep. And if you look at the position of the queens, yeah, you can try to attack this, but you don't have the Reaper in here as well. The Reaper's going to run to the main. So he actually baits these queens out pretty far. Yeah, the Reaper gets into the main, he gets a full scout, he sees that there's no lair, there's only 1 gas in the main base.
Yeah, what a crazy little
He scans the natural, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess you're just going to play a regular style. This reminds me, like, players like TLO like to open like this. Just
Look
nice, safe, standard.
Oh, he just lowered the depots.
No,
he just lowered the depots.
Okay, this is actually really bad now. The Hellions are not anywhere near this base to defend it yet, and he's gonna lose his standing army. He doesn't lose any workers.
Zerglings.
In my honest opinion, in Terran versus Zerg, losing those handful of Marines and that Marauder is worse than losing 5 SCVs at this stage of the game because he has plenty of mules. He has the 3 SCV production, but now, if he wants to do any poke out when his medevacs come out, he's going to be missing a big chunk of units. And that mid-game stage where you need to clear creep is easily the most important part of Terran versus Zerg, because if they snowball that creep out of control, well, good luck attacking.
Really interesting, like Guitarcheese firing up both upgrades before his layer, so he's going to get very well upgraded Zerglings. So you guys can see they're even ahead of the Terran upgrades. Which is not, it's something that's only possible with this style. We casted a Zerg the other week that showed this style multiple times, Nate. Was it Tudming who delayed his layer for quite a while and always gets 1-1 upgrades?
Yeah. Tudming's one of those players. So I was saying, I know TLO is another player. Like whenever I think about this, one of the first players that I saw do this style, because it just gives you sick upgrades and it leaves you, as you said, not sweating it. Look at that, attacked his own Hellion, killed the creep tumor. He's like listening. He's like. I heard that epic delay on the stream, but I know Roddy said, like, if I attack my own Hellion, I can kill creep tumors.
I didn't say it this time, Nate. Just on Overgrowth. On Overgrowth it could have been. But yeah, a small little move. I remember the very first time that I saw the Muslim do that. I was like, wow, that's so smart. And then people put it on Reddit. It's like, guys, you see what the Muslim just did?
Remember I did it once? I had like 10 Hellions. I accidentally killed the Hellion that was standing. I'm like, well, I don't know if the Hellion was worth the creep tumor, but...
Job well done. Either way, there's a small little Marine hit squad over here in the middle of the map
on the map just yet. No. He's got 4 in production, and
he's gonna have so many Zerglings. He
really can't afford to lose these Marines. Like if you lose these Marines and don't actually like cripple your opponent, you're pretty much dead. Now he has the medevac.
Let's not forget, Nate. These are 1-1 upgraded Zerglings. He has like 50 of them. He's gonna. This is an awkward engagement though for the Zerglings. Might be able to overrun it.
This is actually going pretty well so far. As long as he just needs to dodge the Banelings, gets off creep, run Marines. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Yeah. I think, just traded, but he lost to Hellions, and now this is what Zerg players do. This is Terran nightmares here. He just immediately goes right back to spraying that creep. You're like, oh, I made this big push. I cleared some creep. No, creep's coming back.
Neeb knows it as well. He's going to send the medevacs again to the middle of the map. 2 upgrades on the way for either side. Spire is about to finish up as well. And there's even a little bit of gas in the bank for Guitarcheese to do something with it.
I love how fast Neeb is getting this second factory back home.
This is going to be an okay drop.
Goes into the natural.
A very okay drop even.
Turns those Hellions into Hellbats as well.
Look at that Spire.
If he gets that is a big, that's like biggest pickup 2014 right here. He needs to kill it. There are no Mutalisks on the map just yet. The Banelings come in. Hellbats are killed. He's still good good choke points. Just Marines versus Zerglings. The Queens are targeting the medevacs, and the Banelings are going to get the Marines. Saves just 3 Marines, but
saves the Spire,
that's
Nate.
the most important part, Kev, because he didn't really kill anything else of value with that attack.
Nope. It looked very, very promising, and it was promising for a while. I think actually it would have been better for him to just right-click on the Spire and like let a couple of units die and then just pick up the rest and try to get out of there.
He lost all those units anyway, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, a few more Banelings went down, but in the end of the day, if you take a look at the units lost resource step, Guitarcheese lost a little bit more, but he's up 14, 15 drones, and above all, he's already mining up this fort base. He took it in the middle of the map, by the way. Nate, why didn't you talk about this yet? I expected you to lose your mind over this.
I think, honestly, it makes sense, right? Just when there's that alleyway on the left side is really good for Widow Mines. He wants to just use this high ground position and pull him back. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because this is where the focus of his creep spread has been throughout this game.
Alright, we have 6 Widow Mines already, 2 more is on the way. The first store is on production as well. That's a relatively early tour.
I was pointing out, like, right before that drop hit, he started that factory, and this is super nice. Player like Journey busted this out, and I was like, you know what? With the recent change to Thor's auto-targeting mutas, like, you can really stop a Zerg player from snowballing their mutalisks out of control if you build your Thor really fast, because you're not going to be able to just walk in and pick off Widow Mines. And now these Banelings move in. Widow Mine actually has some nice friendly fire damage. Yeah, Guitarcheese is doing pretty well for this engagement so far.
Yeah, those 6 Banelings definitely got what they were looking for, as the Widow Mine was doing more friendly fire. The splits are not perfect. He does get the rocks though, but so many Banelings rolling in from the other side. Marauder doing a really good job in soaking it up, but I feel there should be too much Zerg over here.
Yeah, these medevacs need to get it. He really can't afford to lose these medevacs. Oh, this is actually really tricky. Okay,
he picked off like 6 to 8 Widow Mines over there as well.
Yeah, his third base is almost forfeit though. Like, he has to stop this attack somehow now. Thor is here, going to work on these mutalisks. Widow Mine hit some of the mutas as well, so now it's just spread your Marines all day long. Not terrible. Neeb is actually still ahead, and the resources lost a little bit.
Look at this Reaper. Bam.
Boom, baby.
That Reaper has waited 15 minutes to kill a Baneling, but eventually he was able to get there. He's going to force a cancel on a couple of these Banelings as well. Of course, the disadvantage of taking this base is that it's going to be very easy for a Terran if they win a fight to counterattack and straight up kill this fort base.
Yes, that's true. If Neeb takes his fourth at that center, you basically got steps of war rush distance between the forts.
Literally steps of war. 22 Banelings now against 40 Marines, 3 Widow Mines again. There's still that one Tor getting a couple of juicy shots of already on a few of these mutalisks.
Yeah, man, I love the new Thor. And Banelings come in, Widow Mine cleans everything up on them, and look at how much these mutalisks clump up. He's actually taking huge hits from this Thor. And this is where the change really has an impact, because now he's got no mutalisks. The Banelings didn't kill all the Marines, and Neeb is still pressing the front.
Yeah, and above all, Nate, 3-3 is on the way as well for Neeb. His 4th command center is finishing up. If he snipes this hatchery, then all he has to do is just sit back, let 3-3 finish up, and go up to 4 bases himself, and then just keep throwing bio units at Guitarcheese. No infestation pit yet, as far as I recall. Nope, no infestation pit, no access to Hive. He needs to keep this base alive, Nate. It's absolutely detrimental.
Yeah, this is going fantastic for Neeb, and Guitarcheese, without mutalisks, he cannot counter-harass. He has no way to pull Neeb's forces back. He's rebuilt some mutas, but just 8? I mean, 8 mutalisks aren't even going to break a single missile turret, let alone with only +1 upgrades. So this is going really well for Neeb. That's all that needs to be said. 4th base has just been restarted, and it's on the left side. Like, he's so far away from having that economy, whereas Neeb, he's got a command center prepped and ready to go.
Yep, and 2-3 upgrades will be ready in 100 seconds from now on. He's going to add in a few more Widow Mines to the mix, few more medevacs are on the way. Above all, look how incredibly cost efficient he has been, Nate. Only 7,700 resources lost, 5,000 resources more for Guitarcheese in an 18-minute TVZ. That's pretty big, man.
Yeah, I would just like to see +2 vehicle attacks so that these stores get a little extra oomph against these mutalisks, but I mean, he hasn't made any other mistakes across the board. There's still a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. Anything can still happen. Marauder's up front. He's going to run his forces in, and these Widow Mines looking for the big connections. Nothing really just yet. The Zerglings get the surround on the bio, so this friendly fire splash comes into play as well. Now that the Thors are gone, the mutas come in to clean up, and that's actually a fantastic engagement for Guitarcheese.
It really looked like a lot of the Banelings actually connected with a few Marauders at front, and it wasn't going all that well. I also felt that partly it had to do with the fact that Neeb, not his entire army, was here, as he still is ahead in army supply, 78 against 59. The start of that fight really didn't look that fantastic, if you ask me. Look at all these Widow Mines, by the way. Oh, they can burrow. All of them gonna shoot.
Oh, Queen took one for the team.
Zergling.
No, that Queen is just outside the range of this Widow Mine. It's like, well, doesn't quite kill him. It's okay, run those ones away. But Neeb still has a good position because of his 4th base positioning, right? He's got it fresh, he's got mules on it now. And that 4th base is very important for the Terran. He also has 2 backup command centers. So he theoretically could go for a 5th, or he could just turn these into orbital commands and go for, extra mulage.
Was 3-3 ready for that fight? I actually don't think it was, right?
It either finished right before it or during it. I think it was done. I think it was ready for the actual engagement, but I'm not 100% sure.
Either way, it was not the entire... No.
Like this Mutalisk cloud that he has, I don't even want to call it cloud. This Mutalisk, like, I don't know, breeze, still cannot break this base. Like, he just doesn't have enough mutas. They did a great job in the engagement, though, don't get me wrong.
12 Widow Mines in the mix. It's a beautiful sight as a Terran player. Has 3-3 upgrades as well. Perhaps these Mulas will have +2 flyer attacks, but of course that shouldn't really change the outcome of this battle. A couple of overseers being morphed once again. I do really like that. I want to mention it before. Guitarcheese always has multiple overseers available before the fight starts, and something like that is very important. You don't suddenly want to find yourself without an overseer. 20 more Banelings, Nate. If he gets another fight like the previous one, then perhaps it is suddenly possible. But the Widowmine count is so high. Just now, Drilling Claws actually being fired.
Drilling Claws is late. So basically, here's the problem. The problem for Neeb is the Baneling count. His Widow Mines need to be perfectly spread, and the issue is being able to have the Widow Mines hit Banelings without just a few Lings baiting them out, because right now, if those Widow Mines detonate after the Banelings, then it doesn't really matter that you have Widow Mines, because you're still going to lose all your Marines, and the Mutas become the mop-up crew. I do like this, though. He's like, okay, focus on this 4th base, because there's no creep spread outside here. Loads of a medevac, maybe on accident. He does have a lot of medevacs, so that's a nice cancel, because Neeb has now secured his 5th base as well, but he needs to be prepared. These Banelings are coming from the left side. A lot of Marines are here. Needs to pull back. Widowmine gets
so
okay. Those are the Widowmine detonations he was looking for. Fantastic in this Thor. He's getting targeted down, but there's enough Marines left over to put a great amount of pressure on this base. And Neeb's got money for days with all these mining bases.
And I still feel he has more army than just this as well, because if you take a look at the army supply now, it's 97 against 67.
Well, that's just that sick Neeb rally he's got going on. His army only looks small compared to his supply because he has a really healthy medevac count.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that as well. There's still plenty of medevacs remaining. That 1 or 2 Widow Mines got a couple of great shots up. So many Banelings were blown up. And above all, Guitarcheese cannot afford to take another fight like this. Well, Neeb on the other end, with this base up and running as well. He could even drop a couple of mules here if he really wants to. This base is very well saturated. That was pretty much the fight where Guitarcheese had to murder Neeb. And at best it was even, and I wouldn't even say that. I think it was a small victory for Neeb. Guitarcheese just can't keep up like that. It's just not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not going to work unless he can. He can 22 Mutalisks now. He can kind of play ball against these missile turrets, but it's still hard. You're not going to one-shot them just yet.
It's still alive, Nate. It's still alive.
Damn missile turret. Now it dies. If
next
only
time he'll get
he had building armor.
If only he had 2. If that's what 1 turret can do, then I would have loved to see 2. Neeb has a little bit of money in the bank as well. I think it's time to start trading away some supply again. As long as he just keeps making those fights, he's going to be fine.
Throw away some SCVs, Neeb. You don't need them. You don't need as many workers anymore. I know the party hats look nice, but you don't need that many hats. This isn't Team Fortress.
What do hats do for you in Team Fortress?
A lot.
Really?
It's almost Hat Simulator 2014. You should try it sometime.
Today I learned, Nate. A lot of Widowmines. All the Zerglings actually misrallied. Might force Guitarcheese to take a fight or arrangement that he didn't really want to take. 1 medevac over here heading out as well to the left bottom side of the map. But again, Neeb just cancels this base, Nate. And you can say Sloan said he wins the race. That's basically all that he needs from here. As long as he can keep Guitarcheese on just a single base, it's so good. It's so extremely good for Neeb. He's taking the entire north side of this map. He has nothing to worry about. He doesn't even have to press the issue.
No, Neeb is just going to choke him out, and it's working. Guitarcheese is having a difficult time remaxing. He's actually supply capped at 186 right now. He needs to rebuild Overlords, and with how few minerals he has, even an Overlord is too expensive for him.
Then you know you're poor if you can't afford an Overlord anymore.
That's right. 15 Banelings are on the way, and that expends the rest of his mineral bank. So, after a big fight, he doesn't have the resources necessary to remax, and that's the big problem.
If you talk about someone,
needs to destroy him in this battle. He actually has to just wipe out this army and then kill 2 bases and maybe even actually just go straight for the production.
I kind of felt that was already the case the last fight, but you know, somehow he's bought enough time, even though he's not maxed out. He didn't have the money for the Overlord, like Nate mentioned. He did have money for a lot of Banelings. We have 65 of them, but there are also 9 Widowmines in the mix.
Oh, so many Zerglings
welcome
getting
back,
killed.
Commander.
Well, yeah, that's, I guess, who's back. Thor's holding the line against these Mutalisks, and look at that splash. These bad boys auto-targeting them means these Mutalisks die super fast, but the Banelings are able to clean up. The problem is, yeah, he won the fight, but he didn't crush him, and that means the reinforcements, well, you're not going to break this planetary. GG, Neeb takes the first map in our final best of 3 of the day. That was a very good back and forth game.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely very back and forth early on. At a certain point, it looked like Guitarcheese took the lead, but as soon as Neeb stabilized, as soon as Neeb was able to kill that fort base one time, I feel he played an absolutely flawless game after that. Just waited for his upgrades. He took the entire map. We often talk about people that really babysit their workers properly. Well, if I was an SCV, I'd like to be a Neeb SCV because he never pulls the boys. He never sacrifices the boys. He just keeps saturating bases, which sometimes may even work against him a little bit because he could have a bigger army supply. Because, you know, just the other day we were casting a TVZ, or actually I was watching Massa play yesterday, and this one game he's kind of getting beat around a little bit, but then he makes that one final push and it's like 160 supply of pure bio with 3 upgrades. And yeah, even if you're losing the majority of the game, it doesn't matter how well Zerg has been playing. With 115, 120 supply of Zerg army supply, 160 Terran army supply can be very, very difficult to kill. Obviously, if Neeb would have had 40 less SCVs and would have maxed out, he would have probably won this game a little quicker, but slow and steady won the race. He did such a good job in denying the economy, I feel.
The thing is, the way that Neeb plays, basically, as you said, it's very slow and steady, and there are many, many Terran players that are not patient enough to do that. I'm not patient enough to play that style, but it guarantees that Neeb can't overextend. He'll always have enough economy to fall back on if he takes small trades, but leaves him kind of vulnerable to some of the attacks that we saw. And I don't know if it's really justifiable to bring this up, but like the games against Hyun with the roaches, like early attacks like that kill you before you're set up on that heavily saturated base setup, that's really the biggest threat that you have. And I feel like Guitarcheese on overgrowth, smaller map, if he's going to bust out some cheddar, this would be the map to do it. Mostly because you don't want to play a macro game versus Neeb. You said it. Even against Protoss, his series versus Bales, doesn't pull the SCVs. He's like, no, keep mine, and I can just win this with Marines.
Yeah, Neeb has a very interesting approach to playing Terran as a foreign Terran. I feel like it's almost unlike anything I've ever seen. And not that just like necessarily the best foreign Terran that I've ever seen, because we have plenty of good foreign Terrans, especially earlier today. Small shout out to Bunny for that amazing comeback.
Oh, man. WCS Europe.
But like,
starting off hot.
I really love it. Neeb seems to never really panic and always looks for a complicated but the beautiful solution, rather than, you know, how we often say, with a funny in between brackets, the YOLO swag solution. Neeb is the opposite, man. Neeb is the educated Terran, Nate.
Yeah, the educated Terran. I like that.
The Stanford Terran. Or he's from New York, so we have to call him Ivy League Terran.
Yeah, I can take it.
Over here, of course, in the right top side of the map, we are looking at that beautiful Terran with a beautiful playstyle representing the Fnatic Academy. It is Neeb. Could be on the verge of making his second appearance to the WCS America Round of 16 Premier League, and that while only being 16 or 17 years old. Obviously extremely impressive.
Yeah.
Over here on the left bottom side of the map, we have the guy representing one of those new North American teams, but they seem to be doing very well for themselves so far. Love their little logo too. Solaris Gaming, and the player is Guitarcheese.
Yeah. He uses the Protoss icon. That's the Protoss Carbot animation star, because you have the Zealot eyes on it.
Really?
He uses the Protoss decal when he plays Zerg. These are the things that I pay attention to.
I did not even know that it was a Protoss.
Neeb just uses like the default one.
Yeah.
Just the regular. Like,
Neeb has never actually made it to that phase of Battle.net.
He's like, there's a rewards tab in my profile. I can switch my stuff. I just thought this battlecruiser icon was default.
Well, it is. Hatch first over here on the bottom side of the map for Guitarcheese. Nothing crazy. He's not gonna pull a Hyun and go for some sort of an early pull. Neeb on the other end doesn't want to have to worry about the early pulls, and he's gonna open up with a Reaper. So everything is very standard so far, Nate.
Yeah, nothing really unusual at all. Neeb, enough early pulls. I want to go Reaper now, and it makes sense. Against a player like Guitarcheese, honestly, Guitarcheese played much more standard compared to Hyun, so maybe Neeb just after the series against Hyun just doesn't want to leave himself open to any early aggression anymore. Because it's like Terran versus Protoss styles, it can be pretty safe versus everything because you open with the fast engineering bay. But in this matchup, it can be a little bit different, a little bit more tricky.
Yep, SCV heading to the low ground. Command center will go down, of course. And there is an extractor going down as well for Guitarcheese. Now, opening up with speed is, of course, nothing spectacular in this matchup. But Hyun did it a little different. But, of course, it was maybe because of the early spawning pools as well. We'll never really know the answer to that. But he kind of neglected speed for the longest amount of time as he went straight into roaches. But it doesn't seem to be the case for our North American Zerg player.
Yep.
I'm going to keep a close eye on this Reaper. Nate, do you believe he's going to get a drone kill?
He shouldn't. As the Reaper heads in, this could get a little bit done, though. I like to try to get a drone kill, but look at this. He actually pulls the one drone you usually make from your natural back into the main base. He's making just 4 Zerglings. Usually like 6 is the conservative, safe way to play.
This Reaper, theoretically, okay, now there is a Queen as well, so now this Reaper's gonna have to avoid the links. I love how Guitarcheese is also avoiding the links and trying to get them out of range of the Reaper. Here's one drone going on a journey, being transferred.
Another small thing to point out that I like that Guitarcheese did as this Reaper runs in and tries to kill some more units was, as soon as he saw the Reaper leave, he realized, he's like, okay, well, my Overlord, that means you're probably gonna build a fast reactor. So he actually had his Overlord check the natural. He already saw the factory building. Normally, if your opponent opens the Marines, you have to worry about that. So he knows it's going to be Reactor Hellion follow-up, which, you know, while it's standard, you know, you don't want to get caught off guard by someone that might do a bomber build and just suddenly you have a bunch of Marines knocking on your front door.
Why do you have 6 Rexes and why are the SCVs being pulled?
What
and
is
Bomber,
this?
why do you do it on Altazim Stronghold?
Why
This makes no sense.
Why am I being attacked by a horde of wizards?
That too. Man, if only they could all cast a spell, even if it didn't deal any damage.
What spell would an SCV cast?
I don't know, like Fairy Fire.
I don't even know. I don't know.
You tap the unit and it has like beautiful rainbow colors around it and you can see where it is.
I
Basically
guess
like Revelation, but then a little different.
Okay,
And
Revelation, but it kills stuff.
Revelation, and it does armor reduction, -5 armor.
Okay, that makes sense with the claw, the drilling claw, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Lair on the way. 3 extra gases for Guitarcheese.
Much quicker than in the last game, by the way, because last game, of course, he went double evolution chamber, got melee upgrades, got armor upgrades, then went up to layer, or even after he got the 3rd hatchery down. This time he's pretty much rushing to it.
The lack of evolution chambers leads me to believe this will be a very fast Mutalisk build. Yes, yeah, we're gonna see Mutalisks, and he scouted the factory opening. And he might think, he'd be like, you know, Neeb, I played you on ladder before. I know you might build Hellbats or Banshees, but
earlier today, Nate, we complimented Guitarcheese for like playing like a veteran and really not making any rookie mistakes at all, because he looked so solid and so confident. Now he has 6 drones in this extractor. That's definitely...
He really wants that gas.
Yeah, he's like mining the hell out of it. There's a little drone party. All the heads stack up so beautiful that you don't even see it. But that's actually hurting his economy a little bit.
Yeah, that's 3 drones he could have mining minerals. It's a bit silly.
Now he does, of course, have both bases saturated properly, so it's not as bad as if this would have been. Neeb throws down a scan, we'll probably see it.
Says in all chat, you know you've got 6 drones on that
That
gas.
would be cool. I would kind of like to see him do that.
But it's nice to see that Spire, and it's actually really nice for Neeb that he was going for a 2-base Mutalisk play, because 2-base Muta, against what Neeb is doing, is not a terribly effective strategy.
This is going to be tricky, Nate. There's only 4 Zerglings with 4 Queens. Yes, there is Transfuse available, but if these Hellions really push the issue, I didn't like that he brought the low HP Hellion in the front there. But if they keep pushing the issue over here, these 2 Queens could theoretically fall.
Yeah, this is just really nice because he sacrifices units, he sacrifices upgrades, he sacrifices a lot of things in order to get these Mutalisks out this fast. And he's going to be able to build about 9 Mutalisks. And... well, it's nice, unless you, like, if you open Banshee or Hellbat, Mutalisk openings are great. I know players like Destiny do them all the time because they really don't like playing versus those aggressive styles of Terran off 2 base. But when you open up with this setup, Neeb just builds like a missile turret or 2, and the handful of Marines he has will deflect 8 Mutalisks pretty easily.
And it's going to give Neeb absolute map control as well for the next 2-3 minutes in this game. It's going to be really hard to get a nice amount of Zerglings out, research bailing speed during all this. I'm a little bit worried. I feel that this was not the build that Guitarcheese wanted to face. And I think it's going to be difficult for him to put himself in a good position now to get some map control and above all like try to somehow dictate the pace of this game. But how is he going to get creature out when his army can't even fight straight up?
Yeah, just look at this. He has no map vision of these Marines coming. Like, killing these Hellions would be really nice because
he's not going to get them though.
He doesn't realize how badly he needs these Zerg. He needs to kill these Hellions. I think he's done it. for now, but there's still no banelings. Oh, that stim.
Bad stim.
That stim. Bit adventurous. His third base is going to be super vulnerable now. This is actually really nice. Those
Yeah, and
Zerglings
these Zerglings can work on the missile turret.
Yeah, just
Help
snipe
it so
that turret.
One Midelisk, I believe, went down there.
And Neeb does not want to stim again, but he's going to have to. No, he just pulls back. Dude, your command center's dying.
Oh, it's not the first time today. He has like 2 SCVs left. He's kind of baiting him. He's confident
That
enough.
could have been a lot worse, because all these stims in his Marines are really hurting him. Now, medevacs are actually wasting their energy on workers right now. That's not what you need, man.
Combat Shield is about to finish up. So that's going to help. Man, I think it's kind of unfair that you just go from 25 to 35 HP when your Combat Shield finishes up. It should be like 5 extra. You know, like 5 health, 5 damage.
Well, it depends on who's being asked. As a Terran player, I'm inclined to say I like my 10 extra hit points.
65 drones for Guitarcheese against 59 SCVs for Neeb, but of course Triple Orbital will even things up, if not put him slightly ahead. And take a look at this extractor. He still has 6 drones on this extractor. So it's a little bit of a sloppy mistake there.
Yeah. Oh, they're pulling back the weakened Mutalisk. It's actually a really nice job so far, but...
You're gonna get the turret though. SCV.
45 burning on the dance floor right
Are
here.
you a merciful god, SCV?
Oh.
Yes, he is. He is a generous
He's like, I was just
god.
going to build another one there instead, but...
That would have been like the biggest, yeah, how to say that properly, I don't know. Can't finish the sentence, Nate, but...
That would have sucked.
Yeah, it would have been...
For the guy in the turret.
It would have been very, yeah, the Mr. Turret guy. Shout out to Mr. Bitter, his favorite unit in the game. Everything that he ever spoke about for the last year of his StarCraft career. Just kidding, Ben.
These upgrades are actually really nicely set up for Neeb as well, because he's at 1-1, and 1-1 is not yet done for Guitarcheese, but his 2-2 has started up super fast. There's a second factory. It's a little bit later than before, but this counter to the third base,
look at this helmet.
Yeah, how many Banelings are here to defend? This planet, this command center really needs to get
repaired.
repaired.
My god, he didn't repair it at all.
Neeb, greedy.
At
And the
same
Banelings
time,
are defending the third. He's going to lose this command center. Oh, Neeb. Okay, barely saves that. Neeb's making some really questionable plays here. And
he's
there's
making
just
good
so
plays
much.
as well. This could have backfired. Now these Medefacts are still in a very
Oh,
dire
no.
position.
2 of them are fully loaded. He's starting to unload, but there's no Widow Mines in this force. Marauders are up front. What he needs, you need Widow Mines to deal with this many Banelings.
Splits above all. He loses so many Marines, loses a lot of the Marauders as well. This could just be it, Ned. He could lose a lot of SCVs in this third base. It's still very exposed. You don't have to fight here, Guitarcheese.
No, and now the Guitarcheese has broken Neeb. We see the production tab flooding Lings and
He's
Mutas.
gonna get the engineering base.
The mini-map, he is just running in, and he's going to cancel these upgrades. And he doesn't, I'm surprised he didn't actually try to go right for the units, but I guess he can still do that now that this fight is reaching an end. GG's called. Guitar.
Map vision on the left side of the map really caught him out of position there. He just wanted to focus, just wanted to macro on the right side, you know, start trading away a few units here and there, and suddenly he has to worry about the units on the left top side. Picked up most of his units, handled the situation okay at first, but then the Medevacs flew straight into a lot of turbulence caused by a flock of Mutalisk and forced a fight that Neeb was just not ready for. And I think you pointed it out great when you said there was just not a single Widow Mine in the mix in that phase in the game. And yeah, there were a few Marauders, but there were like 6 Marines hugging the Marauder.
Yeah.
So like even if the Marauder would soak up the Baneling, all the Marines are still going to die.
Yeah. Tough just way that played out for Neeb. But Guitarcheese made some really good decisions. When you open up with Mutalisks against a bio opening, generally speaking, the Terran players should be ahead because they have so much faster upgrades, like I was pointing out. But in that situation, Neeb just extended himself a little bit too far. He pushed that third. He didn't really have all his forces, but most importantly, like he didn't repair his third command center. He was really in danger of losing it. And even if he put some supply depots in front of that bunker at the third base and that Hellbats in the mineral line, then the Zerglings are completely useless. And it's a lot easier for the Marines in the bunker to kill the Mutas, but oh well, we're going to go into map number 3 now. It's merry-go-round.
Yeah, it's going to be the final map of the day. So single best of 1 between Neeb and Guitarcheese to determine who is going to be done for WCS America in 2014, or who still has a very exciting journey ahead of him and will be flown out to Southern California. I said Santa Monica before, by the way. It's getting hard, but of course we're doing it from Burbank over here, where the ESL studio is located. It's not too far from each other.
Not too far.
On a good day, you could walk it.
Walking.
Yes.
In Los Angeles?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I know, that's true. Well,
I'm a guy that loves to walk. I learned very quickly that's not an option around here.
No, that's true. Either way, We are getting ready for game number 3. It is going to be played on merry-go-round. So a single best of 1, a very important best of 1 for both of these guys. Of course, the blue Zerg spawning in the 9 or 10 o'clock position of this map is Guitarcheese, representing Solaris Gaming. North American Terran player who's hailing from New York, representing the Fnatic Academy. It is Neeb. Neeb.
Neeb.
Of course, Neeb with the badass name, Alex Sanderhoofd. He has a very Norwegian name. He has to be Norwegian.
I don't know my I don't know how to analyze last names. I'm bad.
It could be Danish, but to me it just sounds very Norwegian. Like if someone tells me Alex Sanderhoofd or Sunderhoofd or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I'm thinking of ice skating, and Norwegians, they're not as good as the Dutch are, but they're still pretty okay in ice skating.
I was like, is Neeb ice skate? I was like, I'm not entirely sure where this is going, but I'll take it.
Alright, I see a Rex go down on top of the ramp, so no comments in the first on the low ground. It's going to be a standard Reaper expand build for him. And Guitarcheese is also not doing anything fancy.
No.
Nothing crazy so far, Nate. What would you do with these spawning locations?
Oh, I'd roach all in.
You'd roach all in?
Yeah. This map is great for roach play,
Roach
especially
bait?
because just one roach. Because if you don't kill a Terran player, then you just go into roach Hydra off 2-2, and then the Terran tries to take their third base, and there's such a widespread angle that it's like impossible to have more than 2 or 3 siege tanks. And then at that point, you just got so many roaches and Hydras you can crush them. But that's like what I envision when I play Terran versus Zerg on this map, because I personally am just really bad against roach builds. So in my eyes, they're like the scariest things out there.
I hear you. For the
And
longest amount of time, people were like,
agree.
hey, PvC, what do you do in this map if you're Zerg? I was like, make roaches. They're like, but I don't think it really works. I was like, it works, just make roaches. And then they made roaches, and playing against pros that was better than me, and they're like, doesn't work against me. The answer was always roaches, Nate.
Yeah.
I struggled.
Well, Neeb struggled versus roaches when he unbusted them out. I mean, Guitarcheese must have watched those games.
Yeah,
maybe,
of course.
Maybe he's not a roacher. Who knows?
That's possible.
In his adventures, look at the Overlords like twerking
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Guitarcheese is giving us a show.
It's like Miley Cyrus or the Ovi.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
great
similarities
bot, though.
between the two.
Definitely rate this bot a little higher than Miley's. Alright, first Reaper is making his way across the map over here on merry-go-round. Of course, it would be awesome for Neeb if he could pick up a drone kill or so, but it's going to be hard to make that happen with the Zerglings already on the way, and of course the Queen fired up. These spawn places, Nate, I am a little bit worried for Guitarcheese as well. I feel if Neeb gets up to 3 bases, steady, everything is mining, I think he's going to win. You know, if he has a Sim City, if he has a bunker, I think it's going to be really hard for Guitarcheese to play the game after that.
Yeah, this is still. I mean, anything could still really happen. This map is just small, though, and the smaller the map is, generally speaking, in a macro game.
Oh, drone!
Hey, he does get a drone. That's actually really nice. But in a macro game, the smaller the map, the better for Terran, because those Widow Mines, there's less space for Zerglings to run around and dodge
the
things.
reinforcements as well. You know, if
Yeah,
you get a staging ground, especially over here, with a couple of Widow Mines on the high ground, and it's going to be so easy to pick up a few units, drop them into the main.
If you have good creep spread, it'll never take you more than a few seconds to reinforce with speedlings. But with Marines and Thors on a longer map, it gets really difficult.
That is correct, Nate. Another command center is going down in the main base of Neeb, so once more a very macro-oriented opening.
Yeah, I like this. It's not, this is a map where I think Banshee plays really good, and I like Hellbat drops, but most Zerg players expect it so much right now. And with the way that Guitarcheese is opened, it already looks like he wants to go for a Roach build, because this is the first time in this series today where he's actually opened up gasless. And now that he takes that slightly later gas, but both in the natural, a scan in the main would not reveal anything of use. Except that it was a gasless build, which I guess could tell him a little bit, but it's not necessarily given that he's going to go roaches. This drone at the third base is an interesting choice.
Is he really going to... Okay. But he's going to expand over there, Nate. I have the feeling that Guitarcheese might not have the same intention as Neeb has, and that is to drag this game out for a very long amount of time.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Roach Warren or a Baiting Nest go down soon. It could also just be a layer, but... It's going to be really hard to eventually defend this base, like, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Neeb is just going to trail a Widow Mines from his natural to his opponent's third base.
It's like the Disney movie, you know?
Yeah.
When you get
Forget
lost in the forest and he
Forget
drops.
breadcrumbs, bro. I got widow mines for miles. I'm never gonna get lost with these bad boys.
Couple of Hellions and Reapers are just running into the net. You're actually getting a couple of really juicy shots.
This
off.
was really good. This is actually totally worth, because he doesn't see too much, but
He
if
doesn't see the bailing now. That's the only unfortunate thing.
That's one thing that you need Hellions for.
Okay, both eBays go down. I feel like Rex number 2 and 3 were a little later than you would normally want.
Yeah, he just had a lot of attention focused on that.
And there are a lot of Zerglings. I think he's just going to try to win with a very crazy bailing boss. He just canceled his base as well, Nate.
I think this bailing boss should work. He doesn't have enough Hellions.
What is the factory doing?
It's building a reactor. Marines aren't what you need versus this, unless you can get a sick ball. You need more bunkers. I think.
So much on the line. In a single bailing boss, the winner will move on to the round of 16 of WCS America Premier League.
I'm really worried for Neeb, man. These banelings are coming in. He's heading towards the ramp. Neeb's bunker is not loaded. He needs his wall. Okay, he raises the wall. Those SCVs die, but there's banelings. You don't want to pull SCVs to fight these. These Hellions have to become the greatest Hellions ever built by a player in StarCraft 2. Neeb, right now, he needs to just quarantine this base. Let the Hellions kill as much as possible, but he absolutely cannot raise the depot. He can't lower that depot. This Hellions,
the Jukes, they're still alive.
He's actually killed all of the Zerglings so far.
Alright, eventually he will fall. More Zerglings and Banelings are streaming in, but we do have a backup wall.
Yeah, Neeb, he needs to reinforce this though. There's not enough Marines. If the Banelings break this supply depot, there are enough Zerglings to kill all of these Marines.
Yep. Why didn't he start producing like either Hellions or Widow Mines from this factory?
Neeb is stimming. He needs to target the Banelings. 1, 2, 3 down. Not bad. Not bad. He's holding so far. He still has 3 command centers, which, I mean, that's really all you need.
He has to remake his wall. There's no wall right now.
The barracks are burning. There's a lot more Zerglings flooding across the map. Neeb.
The gates are open. The flood gates are open. The more Zerglings streaming up this ramp, and they will.
Neeb, you need a wall.
He canceled. He canceled the depot.
You need a wall, Neeb?
He's refusing to get a wall.
He's supply blocked into oblivion, too.
Yeah. I think right now Guitarcheese was a little bit sad that he canceled this hatch.
I think right now Neeb is really happy his 3rd command center hasn't been spotted on the low ground, because he's been muling that up oh man.
It's actually very funny. Oh my god, if Guitarcheese loses this game, he's
Guitarcheese pull back.
Yeah, he somehow completely forgot about the possibility of the command center landing over here.
I would tell you that Guitarcheese killed 20 SCVs, because he did, but then I would tell you to look at the income tab and say that it's not really that bad for Neeb.
No, he has stim, he has upgrades, combat shield is finishing up. The only thing he doesn't have, he has a starport as well. He's getting a reactor on it soon.
And he's got his 1-1, man. 1 or 2 drops, he's gonna start. He is going to become that annoying fly, man. He swung so hard to try to take Neeb out, and suddenly
I really felt all those Zerglings, if he would have ran up the ramp, like there was no mana effects, they already stimmed once. I think those Marines would have died, and the amount of Zerglings could have been high enough to straight up win the game. Stim activated in the main base. There are Zerglings in position, so for now Guitarcheese will live. But he still has this hatch over here, like he cancelled it, and then he remade it, and I'm still surprised that he remakes it over here.
Yeah, this is, these Marines, they don't need to actually kill anything. They just need to keep pulling Guitarcheese's units around. Do not let him focus on macroing. Do not let him, make him miss a few injects. Make him forget to push his creep tumors out further, because that's really all you need to do. But this 3rd base is finally going to be assaulted. This is a very important pickup for Guitarcheese.
Banelings! Getting a couple of okay connections there. 4 or 5 SCVs will fall, even all 6 of them. Now 3 medevacs are heading to the main base. Nate, there are no Banelings over here. Absolutely 0 defensive Banelings. The Zerglings can't fight this anymore. They're down in upgrades.
The power of Marines, man, and now the rest of the medevacs are going to unload. He's in a good
not enough.
position
not enough
behind the middle line.
Zerglings.
Dude, 1-1. It's the power of upgrades. These Marines aren't going to die. You don't win with Zerglings versus Marines that have an upgrade advantage.
You could have fought that I feel a little bit longer, even though there are a lot of Zerglings all over the natural as well, but Neeb has enough Marines in a defensive position. 1-1 is about to fire to finish up for Guitarcheese, so he has something to hang into, but Neeb is just dragging him all over the place. He's picking up Marines, he's dropping them, and this is why often this is a very bad base to take. It's going to be so annoying. They'll go up, they'll go down, they'll keep doing this. Neeb is playing phenomenal StarCraft now, Nate, and it seems like despite being under so much pressure and being on the verge of being eliminated, he has clawed his way back into this game and is in a pretty damn good position now.
Yep, right now Guitarcheese is gearing up for one final attack. He's got a lot of Banelings. He has Baneling speed. This is it. This is it. If he breaks Neeb right here, he could win the game. Neeb is rebuilding this wall. He has a good amount of Marines. He's spreading them out.
Rolling.
Are there enough Banelings? The bunker's down. He's coming in. Marines spreading as best as they can, and the spreads look good so far. But there's still just a lot of Zerglings left over, and the 1-1 has finished for Guitarcheese. The natural of Neeb has been broken. He needs to raise his depots and secure his main base. Oh, one Zergling gets on top.
Oh my god, he has 0 Marines. He has 0
doesn't have
Marines.
any forces on the map. He needs to raise.
He has 8 soon. What are you waiting for, Guitarcheese? There are 0 Marines.
Oh no.
Every second he waits, it's going to be so much harder.
Yeah, okay, now the depots are raised. The Banelings are going to break this wall open, but I don't know. I don't know if Guitarcheese, I don't know if Neeb can actually hold this.
I think he will, Nate.
This would be a fantastic defense. He's got to abuse this little choke point as much as possible.
Focus fires to the
Banelings. One more Baneling tries to slip through, but it's not enough.
Oh my god,
what a game. Neeb's plus 2 upgrades. Neeb's plus 2 upgrades are finishing up. He's got plus 2 armor, plus 2 attack finishing, and there's the Mule Hammer on his natural. Baby.
He's in such a good position. Man, on a certain point, he had nothing but 6 medevacs. Then 1 Marine, 1 Marauder popped, and then suddenly 8 more Marines popped, and that was enough.
Oh my god,
beautiful focus fire on the Banelings. Guitarcheese doesn't have enough yet, Nate. He is going to try
now there's Widow Mines.
more time.
Now there are Widow Mines helping to anchor the defense for Neeb. And he's got 1 in his main base ramp, 1 in that natural ramp. And with plus 2 upgrades, these Marines are going to make mincemeat of these Zerglings, stepping back, great detonation on those Banelings. I don't know if these Zerglings have the power to end this game on their own anymore.
There's another Widow Mine. There are a few more, actually. 1 more is going to burrow on top of the ramp.
Targets on these. Neeb is actually out of Marines except for that drop he has across the map, which has just been pushed back for now. The SCVs are getting taken out left and right. Oh, Baneling!
No, what are you doing? Trader Baneling.
I'd actually rather have it for the Marines at this point, but he can't actually get on top of this. These forces are so well spread out. These Marines fighting in every corner, man. He's managed to save most of these workers in the main.
He's
still pushing forward. More mules drop at the natural, and there's still a plenty of Marines. He cannot break this without Banelings. It's simply not going to happen.
He should just drop this orbital on top of the ramp and actually get a proper wall for once.
Yeah.
I feel that Neeb is still in an okay position. Yeah, he's down 14 workers, but he has 3 orbital commands. And during our detonate, he did cancel this third base once again.
He sees the Banelings. They're about to finish up, but every Baneling that he kills or cancels is a big win. Now he's going to boost back. There's 2 Widow Mines now on that natural ramp. The Zerglings are coming in. He's running out. He's trying to bait the Widow Mine shots. And they're not. Oh, he gets all the Banelings with that Widow Mine shot. That's it. I don't think there's anything that Guitarcheese can do now. That one Widow Mine just put the nail in the coffin for our Zerg player. Defending the counter drop, this would take a true miracle.
Yes, it would, especially with plus 3 attack on the way as well. It looks like we can gear ourselves up for the return of Neeb in the WCS America round of 16. He made it in Season 1 earlier this year. He's in really good position. This medevac will get picked off immediately. Good focus fire there by Guitarcheese, but he's down quite a bit. There are a lot of queens actually in the mix.
Yeah.
Man, he just killed like a solid 10, 11 Marines, and he didn't really lose anything. But if he would have just the very first time, Nate, the very first Baneling attack, instead of expanding over here, if he would have just expanded over here and actually let it finish instead of cancel it, I think we're looking at a different game. And also if he would have found these mules being being dropped on this base, while he was like standing on top of the production, and Neeb was actually mining off a base that he should have never been mining off. A single Zergling would have been
that third
enough.
base is planted again for Neeb. Now there's Marines attacking this base, and yeah, there's a bunch of Zerglings, that's fine, but Guitarcheese has not yet been able to start up his plus 2 upgrades. He's had this lair forever, but he can't do anything with it beyond that Baneling speed. Oh, another medevac gets picked off. 1 Marine drops out, nice save.
I mean, upgrades are great, but you need units as well for upgrades to matter. Neeb's going to focus on this hatchery. He's going to have to pick up these units once more, and he will succeed in doing so. And of course, during all this, he's building up a pretty intimidating force at home. He has plus 3 attack now, Nate, against 1-1 upgraded Zerglings and Banelings.
I didn't even notice him starting plus 3.
Yeah, he did it during the middle of that craziness that went down in his natural. It's pretty bizarre.
But now these Zerglings are actually just going to get annihilated by Marines. Force them to lift up on the third. Neeb just needs to be a little bit more patient, maybe. But you can't.
Widow Mines could do friendly fire. Yeah, like that is one way to lose the game.
Yeah, there's so many Widow Mines here. You simply aren't going to kill a Terran player with Zerglings. Yeah, Widow Mines actually do a reasonable amount of damage to the Marines, but leftover forces. There are a lot of Zerglings. Oh, never mind. Those Widow Mines just did it.
Once again, Neeb is going to end up losing a couple of SCVs here and there, though, but he's doing a lot of damage on the other side of the map as well. +3 Marines, guys. They should not die. 3-2 Marines. Look at these Marines. They're just standing there. They're eating all the Zerglings alive. They're killing all of them. Still 60 army supply left for our Terran player that's representing Fnatic. And he wants to come back to WCS America this time.
I keep wanting to believe that Neeb has just done it, but I mean, Guitarcheese has been holding on like a champ. The problem is, like he's gonna be. We usually see Terrans do this. He's gonna mine out his main and just move his main workers to his third because he doesn't have any workers.
But the upgrade advantage is just too big.
Yeah, the upgrade advantage is what makes this game borderline impossible for Guitarcheese. Because at the end of the day, it should come down to Marines versus Zerglings. And even if you have an overwhelming number of Zerglings, with +1 upgrades versus +3, you're not going to win.
Oh, drones being transferred as well. An unfortunate moment there for Guitarcheese, who has a few banelings here. They're going to try to save the day. Good focus fire again. And look at these Marines. Well, they didn't have the best position, but they could have stand there. They could have taken some
these
damage.
Marines in a choke are going to kill like disgusting numbers of Zerglings.
These are the true Spartans over here.
Yeah. These guys, I don't know what kind of spears they've got, but they're not tipped with any human steel. Still putting out Widow Mines. And now, oh, look at this. Just drop some Marines. Like, yeah, I'll take a Baneling, thanks.
And above all, he's keeping Guitarcheese on his side of the map as well, which allows Neeb to finally get an SCV. Like, this has been a true worker massacre on, I won't say either side, but 63 SCVs have died. Just when I said if I was an SCV, I'd love to be a Neeb SCV. 63 of them have died. 17 drones have fallen as well in this game for Guitarcheese, who just never really made a whole lot of them.
Yeah, Neeb's.
Sarah Kerrigan got left behind again. Poor woman.
These Marines have just been everywhere for Neeb, and with these +3 upgrades, these hatcheries just die super fast. And his base is gone. Guitarcheese, very little left to mine. Banelings are going to run in. There are a lot of them. The Widow Mines are getting some, not necessarily great with detonations, but as long as they kill something, there's just not a lot left. Guitarcheese says congrats, and Neeb is going to the round of 16.
For the second time in his career, he made it in WCS America 2014 Season 1. Left a really good impression back then. Had to travel all the way to Europe as Season 1 finals were played in Europe. This time it's going to be a lot easier for him, even though it's still a solid 5.5 hours flight from New York to LA. But we can't wait to have him here. He's one of the most exciting and talented North American Terrans that we have. It's been really fun to follow him for a long time already. Been hyping him since the end of 2013. It's awesome to see him deliver once more. But this is one of those moments where I also really want to give a lot of love to Guitarcheese. It was his first appearance in WCS America Premier League, and he left one hell of an impression on me, Nate. We have seen much bigger Zergs fall to the likes of Arthur. We have seen Zergs being completely outplayed and destroyed by Jan. Guitarcheese hold his ground. And even in that final series of the day, that was a pretty damn close series. So, even though he didn't make it, he may have not won a ticket to the round of 16, but he has won a spot in my heart. Guitarcheese, Zerg to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, Guitarcheese did a fantastic job, basically, in all those games today. I really liked his play against Hyun, even though he wasn't able to beat him. But Neeb, man, he's got a lot of basic core things, very well rounded out. And there were a couple of weird things that happened in the match versus Hyun, but for the most part, his defense and scouting against early aggression, particularly in the series against Arthur, everything can completely change if you have to lose. Because just imagine then you have to have Guitarcheese versus Neeb, and instead of playing each other for the spot out of the group, they have to play each other in the first elimination match, and that's not really what they're looking for. So just really great play, and I'm excited to see Neeb come out to California.
Me too. He's a kid that can go very far. Unfortunately, he didn't make it last season, but still 2 out of 3 seasons this year in WCS America. He was part of the round of 16, and we've said it already multiple times today, guys. Last season in WCS America Season 2, we had to wait 8 groups until we could welcome our very first North American to the round of 16. This time, Nate, we're doing it on day 1. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow as well. We can just take a look at all 8 groups, as Group A has been played, and Group B, that's a group that will be played tomorrow. And that's a really fun group as well, Nate, where I believe that upsets are possible, because I think it's hard to say who is the overwhelming favorite in Group B. A lot of people would perhaps say Jim after the Intel Extreme Masters Sun Zen, but that's too easy, because Alicia is still a very accomplished Protoss player, and Nesty somehow keeps qualifying for the round of 16 as well. No one has any idea how he does it, but he does.
He's crazy.
And we have the Gimli 10. Of course, Group C, D, E, F, G, and H will be played on a later period. A lot of very fun groups ahead of us. Looks like a great season, Nate. We're going to have fun.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see so many new American faces and some new faces in general. Tomorrow's group is going to be awesome. We're going to be at the same time, 3 p.m. And, we'll be here. We'll be hoping to see you guys tweeting at us again, hashtagging WCS. You sent some interesting messages today, and we always like to hear from you.
Yeah, make sure to follow twitter.com/StarCraft, facebook.com/StarCraft, and of course the same for ESL, twitter.com/ESL and facebook.com/ESL. We like to hear from you guys. Makes it really fun for us, makes us know that you guys are watching and hopefully enjoying the competition like we are, as it's going to be a lot of fun. So Nate, you've already said it, but just to go over all time zones once again, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Hawaii time, 3 p.m. LA, 6 p.m. Eastern, and midnight for all the Europeans out there. And then we've pretty much all covered. We can do like 7 a.m. Beijing time. I think that's correct. Then we really have everything. Man, that's so cool. We're going
Dude,
around
for
the world.
those Koreans that are interested in watching StarCraft 2 WCS America.
There are quite a few out there, Nate. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's true.
It happens. You remember when I gave the little Chinese interview for the TV?
Yeah.
A lot of Chinese StarCraft fans suddenly tweeted at me. I have no idea how they've actually tweeted. Like, hey, I saw you on Chinese TV. I was like, yeah. Talking about basketball, guys. I'm a man of many talents. Either way, that is going to be it for us. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Like we said, we'll be back tomorrow with much more StarCraft 2 action of WCS Premier League. Thank you very much for watching and have a good night.